The July 7th meeting of the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board will please come to order. And the first item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Does anybody have any changes?
I move to approve as presented.
Okay.
Second.
All right, have a motion approved, or motion and a second to approve the agenda. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the agenda is approved. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the June 2nd meeting, which are here on the table. Does anybody have any changes to those?
Make a motion that we move as presented.
Second.
We approve as presented.
Okay. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No opposed, so the motion passes. So the third item on the agenda then is program and facilities update.
Yes, sir. So our tie-dye totals are ranging from 145 to 200 people per week. The most we had was week before last, which was 204. We may need to evaluate that program for next year and how we think about moving forward if we want to do something different in a new direction. Most programs are cyclical. I think it started out, it had about somewhere in the range of 400 per week, and we're still serving a lot of people, but we may want to see if there's something else we want to do or if we want to continue that. Concerts are being very well attended with crowds backing the police trucks down Jordan Boulevard. So they start out at one point and then they have to back up as they go along and move back more towards the Mermaids because the crowd picks up. 50-50 at the concerts have been going well. The evenings that we've had them, I think there were 2 concerts that we didn't have a group that took it, but other than that, the 50-50's been going well. And I put a call into the Boy Scouts to see if they wanted to do this week, so they're going to try to see if they can get enough people together. I tasked Emily with coming up with 3 summer camps to do this summer, so she got that information together. I told her the water slide and putt-putt were always big catchers for people as far as wanting to sign up. So she did some advertising for that and then added an additional one, and we have registration open for that at the moment. The pier campsites had their first rentals over the time period right before the 4th and the weekend of the 4th. Food trucks are not doing so well there, but the one that has seen the most business said that they are seeing better business in the evenings when people are coming off the beach than the lunchtime crowd. So that's the feedback on that so far. So we're actively trying to recruit. There's something online that says that people should submit information or submit their information on their trucks if they want to participate, and Emily's been reaching out to folks. The bocce court across the street got a makeover this morning. We were finally able to get the sand in there. We had a lot of people out. The guys were there first thing at 8 o'clock or before working on that, and I had a lot of positive feedback from people who were in the park when they were asking what the plan was, and I was telling them what the area was going to become. And we are still working on the initial logistics for Cycle NC event. October 8th is going to be here before we know it, so we need to keep that at the forefront of our next few meetings and how we're going to address that. And then I need to make you guys aware that we found out that Mad King's Tackle out of Southport, it's a new tackle shop, sent out a flyer that they were promoting a land-based shark fishing tournament on Ocean Isle, Holden Beach, and Oak Island for week after next. And the town has since replied with communication to let them formally know our displeasure with the irresponsible nature of planning such during the height of tourist season. So more to come on that. If you hear anything about that in the next few days, they did receive formal correspondence from us today. So moving forward past that, the next thing that I had on the list was it is National Parks and Recreation Month. Before I move into that, did y'all have any questions about regular programs or facilities?
I would just comment on tie-dye. I know I had 2 people ask me Tuesday. I still think there is some confusion about having to pay for parking to go do that, because it is during the 9 to 5 hours. And everybody's not getting the emails and all from the town. So when we talk about the functions for this month, I think I can tie some of that in, some communication items. But that was the main thing. They're really thinking that if they come to do tie-dye, because one man said the owner of Slushy Place said he could park there while his family walked up and did a t-shirt. And I said, oh, you don't have to pay for parking. But they're not all getting the communication because they don't get the town emails. So when we come back to the month, in the proclamation, whatever we decide to do, I think we can address some specifics.
Chrissy, what's the week of the Cycle Carolina again?
It's
Week of
October 8th. It's the second Saturday in October. And they do, it is, you are right, they start in the mountains at the beginning of that week, but they'll end on Saturday with us.
Have to have a finish line or something for them?
We are actually responsible for, we're gonna have a band play when they come, and we're doing the kite festival. And those are gonna be our 2 big contributions. We also have to do the trash, but other than that, they handle all their logistics. So.
I forgot, how many people did we say were gonna be riding from, when they start in Whiteville and go through Charlotte?
Total, we're gonna have thousands of people here because they bring their families too, so.
They're gonna be able to rent housing and stuff.
They are, and they also are, a lot of these are retirees that are looking for where they're gonna retire, so. They try to, in their destinations, like last year was North Topsail. They do coastal communities towards the end, and a lot of highlights along the way.
Anything else?
So moving on to the National Parks and Recreation Month. Not that we haven't in the past, but the Parks and Rec Advisory Board and the Parks and Rec Department have a lot to look forward to this year in terms of growth and change. We also have a plan that we're following and that was adopted last September that indicates a path we should follow based on citizen feedback. I think it's important for us to propel the community in that direction by promoting National Parks and Rec Month. I sent you all a link in your agenda packet information to the national website with some instructions that during this agenda item we would put forward some ideas of how you guys think the town should celebrate this month. And I'll just put some of the key research findings that they had from their website. I'm going to hit 4 of the bullets that they had as part of a larger overall key findings. 260 million people visited a local park and recreation facility at least once in the past year. 4 in 5 U.S. adults seek high-quality parks and recreation when choosing a place to live. Nearly 9 in 10 people agree that it's important to fund local park and recreation agencies to ensure every member of the community has equitable access to amenities, infrastructure, and programming. And living close to parks and other recreation facilities is consistently related to higher physical activity levels for both adults and youth. Moreover, parks provide a connection to nature, which studies demonstrate relieves stress, strengthens interpersonal relationship, and improves mental health. So with that being said, I will pass it back over to John for his last official action today to move through the boards to get, the board members to get ideas, and then we'll narrow the list down for what we think we can accomplish, this month. We did do a proclamation several years ago. I know that was one of the things, Candace can't be here, but she did send back that she thought that we should ask the board to do a proclamation, and that's one of the things listed on the website. And then we can attempt to build each year, beginning our planning efforts in the late spring as we move forward. But if you guys prefer, I can write on that whiteboard that I brought out as we go down the line, and then you can see if that's what you want me to do. Okay.
You write notes, either way, what's easy.
I brought it up there.
I was looking for the whiteboard. Oh, my goodness, there it is.
So, moving forward, we could get the proclamation done in June, or do you have to do it the month of the,
Typically you do it in the month,
okay.
but that would usually always be in July.
It's just because the board meets so late in the month that maybe you get some press from the proclamation.
We should just do it now. Or we do
I
it
think we can do it now.
first.
Do it now for
Hopefully
this
they can
year.
get it on
First board
and get it
meeting.
on the agenda
Yeah,
for Tuesday night.
I think Kelly's gonna have to step short.
Can we still get something on the agenda now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm understanding that you guys want to do a proclamation, one, okay.
Christie, most of what I saw in the packet that you mailed was really a lot about, media coverage, and different, samples of letters to the media and all that. But one of the things, I think one of our best conduits to communicate to our, owners and our visitors to the island are the beach rangers. I would love to see us do something with something small, some kind of little, and I know we got a budget to work around or lack thereof, but, some kind of like a little small card that people could throw in their beach bag, not some flimsy 8.5 by 11 that they would throw away or it would blow away, and just say, use the tagline, the national tagline for the month, and then list functions that we have on the island. And as I alluded to a minute ago, we could say Tie-Dye Tuesday and the hours and free parking, and we could say concerts and give the hours. You could list camps and the dates that Emily's got camps lined up. In any function like that, you could even list the fall function if we have tied down that date, the cycle in seat, anything that we know, the community service projects, there's something very small that they could toss in their beach bag and perhaps stick on the refrigerator of their rental, or if they're owners, they would share with visitors.
I would suggest we don't do that. We put it in the rentals, but we're gonna be picking up trash.
Yeah. And it's a transient population.
Okay.
That would just be my
I like the idea of
suggestion.
putting
Can we
in
put it,
rentals.
can we give it to the realty companies, put it in the
Right.
packet?
Yeah,
My concern is we've got so many doing VRBO and Airbnb, we can miss a large population. That was kind of, they give that, they're
I see
giving
what
out,
you're saying, but
they're giving out frisbees and they're giving out other stuff on the beach periodically. The beach rangers are, so I didn't know.
We can get stuff for rental packets. Normally they do a lot of the packet stuff at the beginning of the season, so they want anything before then. But we can certainly take some stuff over, because we also have concert brochures that the county dropped by. But we can also include, when the beach rangers do stop and hand out the promotional items, they can make sure to tell people that it's National Park and Rec.
And I think my big concern too is the free parking, as we alluded to a minute ago, for any of the town functions between 9 and 5.
we could do that with the sign at the bottom of the bridge, so it would be on the.
I mean, yoga, Monday, Wednesday, Friday yoga, just a lot going on.
there is a lot going on, and I don't.
And people don't know it. just because, I mean, one lady came up to me Tuesday, and she said, "This is wonderful, we've owned a place there for 15 years, and we never knew about tie-dye." And I said, "Well, do you get the email from the town?" And she said, "I think we do." Young couple probably get 100 emails a day, so.
Other ideas?
One idea that I had is that once you get the proclamation, if you did a newsletter, like the Holden Beach, the newsletter that goes out to the town, with the proclamation on there, and then, we have, a lot of photographs of the parks that we have that you could go under and list some of the activities, because like all y'all say that, we got a lot of stuff going on. And a lot of people, like I was I was just out in the road, and this family these two families with 5 kids came walking by, and I said, "Do y'all know about the tie-dye Tuesday?" And they showed up, so, maybe it's just, I don't know how many people are subscribed to that, but, I'm sure there's a lot, but that's something that I think would be a cheap, effective way to get a lot of this information out. Because a lot of people, if they go to the website, they're not going to go down and click, 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 click. But I know I read them every time they come out. And so that was one idea that I had.
Is it in the paper? Do you think it's anything in the paper?
I don't know if they typically are subscribed to our newsletter, so they pick up stuff and contact us if we have something big going on. I don't know if it's running in their weekly stuff or not, I have to check.
I wonder if Brunswick Beacon would do a feature on one of the programs we're doing, just as a,
Because they're always looking for stuff to print.
like tie-dye Tuesday.
Yeah.
See if
That would
they
be
could send a
like,
reporter out. and-
Send a reporter out, let them take pictures and say,
Mhm.
look at all the stuff we've got going on at Parks and Rec.
And interview you in addition to that particular event.
Let them list everything in there.
And they've just changed over all the people there, or not all the people there, but there's a new editor.
Star
I know
News,
the
Star News
previous,
too.
yeah,
Brunswick and Star News.
previous one was real easy to get hold of to ask her to
Yeah.
run articles on stuff I haven't
And they
dealt
used
with
to be
to do.
really good. Back
Good.
when I was teaching, they were really good about coming out and talking.
They came to tie-dye when I first started here, before time.
Yeah.
We ought to make sure that the same calendar kind of information that we're talking about gets to the homeowners association, because they have a good circulation for owners on the island, and also, maybe Lou Cutajar would put it in his,
His newsletter.
That was my next
Newsletter
thing.
that was the next thing on my list.
huh,
That was the next thing on my list.
Yeah. Can approach him.
A lot of people read that.
so,
He'd be glad to put it in there.
other thoughts?
I had a couple. So I looked up some ideas. One was a photography contest, and it was just taking a picture of your favorite park and submitting it. But I don't know how successful. I think we did that one time for some. I can't remember what we did. I don't know.
We did an essay contest.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know how successful we were with people submitting things. The other one was, it was called Chalk the Park, and then you just provided chalk. I was just thinking budget friendly, and maybe we can do that during tie-dye, that they can do something right and then put National Parks Month. And then the last one I saw, and I really liked this one, it was an activity bingo sheet, and it was different activities that they can do, and it was one, take a walk, exercise. The other one was visit one of the parks, attend a local or an activity the town is doing, and then do as many as you can and then submit it. And then you get a prize at the end of the week. And I thought, because we have different people every week, that would be something they can do. And something budget friendly and wouldn't take a lot of planning and putting together, that somebody would do that. And then lastly, I was trying to think, because as a child, my mom, we didn't have internet. And so we would do a lot of activities during the summer. And I was trying to think, how did my mom read or know about all these things? And it was in either newsletters, the paper, and I guess posting things at the local, because the library and the town hall were together, and that's where we would go, and she would find all these activities for us to do. So, just, I guess, getting the word out for people to know.
And besides the proclamation, Candace also submitted an ice cream social, which I think fits with summer anyway. And we had planned to do a social this month. We were eyeballing next Friday, but that's not gonna work because there's a manager's meeting in Southport, so we're not gonna be able to do that. But sometime this month, we'll probably do a social anyway, so if you guys like the idea of an ice cream social, we can probably tag that in. I also like the idea of, one of the Parks and Rec department last year, the year before in Greensboro, I believe, in their park had, an adult games day. And they use like old school games that adults would do, and so I think that maybe as part of that day, when we finish the social before we start, that we may have some of those in the park.
I saw dodgeball as one of them. Also, I don't know who's gonna participate in that, but
I remember those days.
Maybe that'll be for the midway group.
Did you say adult or senior?
What'd she say, middle age?
Not middle age, the middle age group, like 30, 20, 40.
That's the group that would love it.
Anybody else? Looks like you got more on your list.
Well, I just had a question mark by July 15th is Professionals Day. That's a short lead time between now and then, but,
Yeah, if we were able to pull off that lunch, I actually wanted to reach out to the county, not just the county, but every municipal and the county Parks and Rec department, and ask if they had representatives they want to send over. And I thought we'd do a round table where people could talk about what they had going on in their department, but the manager's luncheon conflicts with that, so we will not be able to do that.
so what was, are you looking at another date for the social? Yeah.
Not yet.
Because I was trying to see what day, the 15th is Friday week.
Friday,
Mike could incorporate something. Isn't that when Alan will give his birthday?
But we're not doing lunch that day.
Okay, but if you do a social, will he do some kind of update?
Yes.
Okay. So you could, if there was folks you want to recognize, that's still 9 days or 8 days out.
I am not here the week of the 17th through the 22nd. I'll be working remotely, so that week is out for me to do anything. Emily could put something together in my absence that I would
So,
prefer to be here.
you know, I'll be glad to help. I can help through the 25th. Whatever y'all decide. What do you need?
Any other suggestions, comments? No? You wanna
Sure.
summarize what we got there? Now
So,
that we've made you deal with
the
that.
proclamation was pretty much unanimous. I saw everybody say going up and down, so I'll get something together for the agenda packet. I think the beach rangers, as they pass out the stuff to promote Parks and Rec Meet Week, but you guys decided not to cars on the beach because they were just litter. To try to see if we can get some sort of flyer information to packet together for the rental packets to give to the rental agency. Once
Chalk the Park, I think I didn't understand what that was. I
Oh,
wrote it down,
they
but I need
just,
to come back.
they just come and write and play and draw anything that they want. And then
Okay.
just, they can take pictures and put the hashtag National Park Day tag.
And then activity bingo sheet with a prize. Did I miss one? Y'all are looking at me right now?
I'm wondering, are we gonna prioritize, or are we just gonna give thumbs up on yes or
I
no?
think since, oh, and the ice cream social. I think that since the list is not something really huge, that most of this can get accomplished. I think that's a great list.
Okay, I'm confused. Is this something just for July?
Just
that-
July.
Okay,
It started in 1985, is when it was first recognized as national.
okay. I was just thinking that having a list of things that are available all summer that Park and Recs do, perhaps, you know, those little things that the realtors put out where you reach in and pull out what the house is listed for and what it looks like and all that good
A
stuff.
trifold? I heard that's old school.
But, if there was some place where we could have several locations where they could pull out what, you know, what goes on a weekly basis here. But that wouldn't just be for July, that would be another way to signage, to get maybe the VRBOs and those people that don't have things in the rentals.
Well, even at the chapel, because they're doing turtle talk to the chapel now, so not overlooking the chapel. There's a lot of people coming and going through that chapel on
Well,
Sunday.
and places like Beach Barn at Glenwood.
Right, like the
Yeah,
tie
because
charts,
they're-
you
A lot
know,
of people
type
put it
thing.
out, and I'm sure that's one of the
But that would-
places where people ask what's going on this week.
Yeah.
So start it
Places
now.
like Scoots.
Start it now, but I don't think,
But
it
ongoing.
has to just be July, is where my concern, my question was.
But you've got so much going on all the time.
Yeah.
And I would love to see just like a fact sheet, even if you haven't got anything published and put together, to give all the beach rangers starting as soon as possible. Because as they're talking, if they've kind of got a little list of things that they can talk and address, not many people know about yoga. It's one of the best kept secrets on this island, for us older folks, I know. We're regulars, pretty much. And, you know, I think that if they have a list of the upcoming fall events, people might be looking. I was telling our neighbor who was checking out today, that, you know, we have festival in the fall. Might wanna come back, so.
What about, she suggested, the photo contest and the chalking the parks and that little thing where you can check off how many things you've done. How about a sandcastle competition on the beach? Build it and submit your photo.
Oh, yeah, so you have people run out and
Yeah.
check it, yeah.
Have everything,
Submit.
people can do it by themselves and then submit it, and
Yeah,
that's
that's
it.
a good
So you don't have to
idea.
have
They
the
don't need
manpower
me.
out there.
People love that.
They used to do those all the time during festival weekend.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the weekend.
It's kind of diminished, hasn't it?
We haven't had any really good ones
We
lately
used to have great
that
ones.
I've seen.
Mhm.
I've seen some good ones.
I've seen some really good ones.
Which makes me think another vehicle is for however we're distributing things would be through the Merchants Association. Because that covers a lot of territory too in terms of people.
And if we're gonna have food vendors, maybe have some, if we have some food vendors up here, maybe give them a little, I don't know, little stand-up thing to put information in. I mean, you can't market too much.
Again, I think the most effective thing we have in terms of communicating stuff is the sign that we pull up on at the bottom of the bridge a lot of times. I think if, especially on Saturdays, if people are stuck on the bridge waiting to get off there, you know, you can get a lot of information out. But I mean, if you You know, if you just buzz it on, you know,
Yeah.
Mondays or Tuesday being tie-dye or something. I think
Definitely on Saturday
Yeah.
checking. Or for those of us that
You're
become
forced to pay
senile.
attention to that when you go shopping.
Some of us that are senile and we forget to go to the grocery store on Saturday.
You only do that once.
Yeah, I'll do it but once.
What else? Any other
Yeah, that's a
thoughts?
good list. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's a really
Yeah.
good list.
Now, the other thing is, you see us, that doesn't mean you have to do it all.
I was gonna say, how do you make it happen
I
and
mean,
how do you split up responsibilities for those things? You know, who's gonna drive?
and if you need a minute or two to digest it, you know, we can help you.
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll take the list and Emily and I'll go through this. I'll have to do the proclamation part and memo for the agenda packet. But we'll see what we can get together and then what we need to divide out and then we'll send some stuff out to you guys if
Yes.
you need
Do we,
assistance so that people can sign up for something.
County officials will probably need to reach out to the media, right?
yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Then, following up with this, do we need a formal motion from the board regarding the proclamation so you can get that on?
You don't have to have one, but I would prefer one. But if we're done with the list, I'm gonna go back to the minutes so I can capture your motion.
Mhm. So we can make a motion to approve everything, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to think about Shopper Park.
Oh, okay, no, that's
Because we
fine.
just painted the court and I'm gonna have to
Okay.
think about, because people may not be smart, so I'm gonna roll that one around, I'm not
Okay.
gonna promise.
No,
that.
and then you also have to watch what they say and write,
Right.
because people do crazy.
It has to be supervised.
Yes.
And also where it washes off, I don't think you'd want to do it on the court, would you? Just do it in concrete. Most concrete's covered, isn't
The what?
it? Is most of the concrete in the park covered? I'm not talking about the
Picnic area.
court. The
The
court,
pic- Are you talking about the picnic area?
or anywhere. I wouldn't think they'd want to put it on the court.
No, not that way, no. That's-
No, I was
No,
thinking
no.
over in the front of the pavilion that
That's
they
what I
can
was
just.
thinking when you said that.
Just.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's just that one concrete pad. Excuse me, that's where the line dancers are.
That line, yes.
It could be replayed before.
Okay, did I?
Well, thank y'all for doing your homework.
Of course, you're the teacher.
Did I hear a motion that list be approved?
I'll make a motion that the list of activities for the National Parks Month be approved.
I second.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimously passes. Okay, I think that takes care of all of our business for today, with the exception of our Easter bunny is leaving us. And so I think, as most of you know, this is the last meeting for Olivia and for me. And I want to thank all the members, because you've all made it fun and productive since I've been here. And I think we got a lot done. I think we had a lot of fun doing it. Everybody worked hard, and I really appreciate the support over the years. It's been a very good experience. And and thank you, Christy, for the ice cream and brownies and goodies that we soaked up before we started the meeting. That was very sweet of you. Olivia, do you have anything?
I just want to say thank you. This was my first thing I did once I moved back into the U.S. and moved to Holden Beach in 2017. I've just enjoyed my time. I'm just a call away. I'm always here, so anytime you guys need me, I'm
Thank
here.
you.
Now she's got a warm bunny suit.
Yeah. We gotta- that's right,
She
we gotta
said if
find
we don't
somebody
get that in
exactly-
July.
Yeah.
Have to find another member exactly that size. And willing to give everybody attention. Yeah, also, as I told Christie before, I'm happy to do anything I can, you know, as a non-board member to help Holden Beach. It's a special place, and so we'll do that, and we'll keep flying some kites here. So,
Good.
anyway, and with that, then I think the official
Well,
act
we
is
have
to pass out the
public public comment.
The what? Oh, yeah, but I just quit.
But I also,
You're in charge.
I also want to thank you, John. I mean, particularly when we had a tasker back in the winter, and I had told recruitment for the board that this was really an easy board to serve on, and then we had the master plan, and we had the tasker, and, you know, we've been working really hard, but you made it easy, and your skills as far as pulling our thoughts together has just been monumentally beneficial.
Well, thank you, that's sweet, I appreciate that.
Here, here.
All righty, so with that, the vice chair is now the chair.
Do we have comments from the public? No? All right. If none, I will adjourn the meeting. Do I have to give a motion to adjourn? Do I have a motion to adjourn the
Aye.
meeting first?
Oh, let me. No, I move we adjourn. Second.
Okay, first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
So adjourned.